Introduction. Made in India. Entrepreneurship is a journey, not an outing. You cannot make a deal with yourself by saying, I'm going to try this out for 2 years and see. Entrepreneurship is about living life on your own terms. Dream huge, and when you do, dream with your eyes open. Failure fascinates and intrigues me. I've never understood why people are so afraid to fail, or why they hesitate to stretch for the next rung on the ladder of life just because they might topple over. Failure is part of life. Everyone fails. I know I have. More times than I can count. I am routinely asked questions about my various entrepreneurial experiences, and most want to hear about the successes. Why don't they ask about the failures? It would give me more to talk about. Just one early example. My first Bollywood film, Dil Ke Jharoke Mein, was such a flop, you'd probably never seen it. Nobody saw it, or at least no one will admit to it. But the lessons I learned producing that film propelled me forward in that part of my business and gave me the learnings I needed to thrive not just in cinema, but in managing creativity and believing in my own convictions and gut. After growing UTV for a few years in the late 1990s, we wanted to expand into broadcasting and the movie business. What we ended up with in our first effort was a perfect storm of questionable movie making, one that traded on every Bollywood stereotype under the sun. A villain, a hero, the love interest, 6 songs, and 3 long hours of celluloid. Here's how bad it was. I refused to see the movie in the preview theater. Instead, I had a system built in my bedroom so I could watch and cringe alone. Back then in the movies, I lacked the wisdom to follow through on my intuition. I was labeled the odd guy out, the South Mumbai Parsi with a perceived tenuous command over Hindi, surrounded by people who kept saying, this is the formula that works. I sat with the director of Dil Ke Jharoke Mein several times to persuade him to consider a few cuts. By our last trip to the editing room, it dawned on me that no matter what we did, the film was going to bomb. My oh God moment in the movie was a scene of a cobra drinking milk, a scene that drags on and on. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why it was in the movie, except that the director insisted that the cobra was a good luck charm. What the hell, I thought. If it's going to be a disaster, I may as well go with the popular consensus. Who knows? Maybe it could work. So how did the cobra's good luck charm work for us? The film cost rupees 100 million to produce, about rupees 450 million in today's terms. We lost it all. What does a person take away from such or any failure? In business as in life, failure can be a stronger motivator than success. Get that failure out of people's mind quickly and focus on moving forward, and you won't see that experience as the end of the road. We countered failure every time with the complete conviction that no matter what else happened, we would succeed. That attitude got me through many of the lowest moments of my professional and entrepreneurial career. I wanted to write a book for those who share my passion for entrepreneurship, leadership, winning, and dreaming of a better future. I believe in India's entrepreneurial spirit because I have seen and experienced its unbridled power. I believe in the boundless potential of our still nascent ecosystem. I want my country to realize its full strength on a global stage as a world leader in ideas. I want to see a nation of people who think big, innovate, work hard, and follow their dreams. And I believe you and we are the future of entrepreneurship in India. All through my career, the entrepreneurs, leaders, and entrepreneurs inside companies in India and around the world who I'd been fortunate enough to know, meet, learn from, or mentor are inspiring, generous, and cool. They love and savor the rush that comes with flying as high as their wings will carry them. For me, this book is all about demystifying failure, inspiring success, raising your ambitions, and dreaming big. As I brainstormed the book's title with a few colleagues, one asked, Ronnie, what's your view on the notion, if you can dream it, you can do it? My immediate reaction was, sure, but you need to be wide awake. then and always. And you need to do it with your eyes open, not closed. Then I knew we had the title for the book. My sharing here is about being real, practical, feet on the ground, and focus. So Dream with Your Eyes Open is the perfect blend of the 30,000-foot view when you're flying and thinking big, and the ground view where you walk the talk and make it happen. If you've ever had an impactful, disruptive product or business idea, been curious about owning your own business, or have already taken the first steps on your entrepreneurial path, this book holds insights for you. If you've been running your own company for the last 7-odd years, and scale, brand, and value creation are some of the issues you confront, keep reading. If you think your parents or family would freak out if you dared to suggest ditching your safe haven, your professional job, to pursue your dreams of owning your own business, relax. Better yet, share this book with them. If you're an experienced professional ready to take a plunge into your own business, or simply dedicated to continuing as an effective leader in the company, read on. In all these cases, this book shares experiences, failures, successes, and anecdotes that can provide you with insights and give you a fighting chance when it comes to team building, mentoring, growing a business, surviving, and succeeding in a David versus Goliath world. Dream with Your Eyes Open is as much for those who are a decade or more into their entrepreneurial journey as for the fence-sitters or those just embarking. It doesn't matter if you are 20, 30, or 40. Age is not a deterrent. After all, I'm in my 50s and looking to start all over again, taking on more challenges and opportunities in my second innings. It's never too late or too easy. Harnessing India's enormous entrepreneurial energy in an age of opportunity hinges on a simple but axiomatic truth. The future belongs to those who realize that the goal is no longer teaching talented people how to get a job, but how to create thriving businesses as entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, professionals in a company. If we master this, India will soar. If not, we will languish. Either way, the old way of thinking that a solid education ensures a life of stability and security is quickly evaporating. Creating a successful growing business is not nearly as daunting as you might think. Sure, it requires grit and hard work, but that's true of any worthwhile endeavor. Why should that stop you? The good news is you couldn't have chosen a better time to kickstart or grow your entrepreneurial ambitions. This statement may seem counterintuitive since every 3 years we hear of rising youth unemployment or a sluggish GDP, some global slowdown, or clouds of war. But there's a golden glow in the midst of all such gloom. I'm optimistic that this next decade will bring opportunities to the determined and the bold. Today is not the age for sitting on the fence and wasting precious time. After all, the size of our population and the energy and momentum of our economic ecosystem means millions of low-hanging entrepreneurial fruit ripe for the picking. Many people contemplating entrepreneurship assume they have to conjure up grand, complex, original ideas like Twitter, Google, or Instagram. But the reality is, many of the most successful entrepreneurial ventures out there today are equally disruptive, innovative, and scalable, or involve fairly straightforward products or services. So many sectors just starting up have incredible headroom, from health and wellness to agriculture and education, with or without technology, to Indian consumption, to all those unimaginable sectors, markets, and demands that will open up from rural India as we integrate those areas into the whole ecosystem. These businesses may not sound as sexy as a Silicon Valley startup, but they stand to create wealth for those confident and driven enough to recognize and seize these opportunities. As I started writing this book, I couldn't help but wonder why, after 6 decades and more of independence, we still remain a developing country, lagging behind most of the world's economies. We are quick to lay the blame on the government, our environment, the world order, everything but ourselves. As leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, scientists, professionals, or sportsmen, we need to communicate and evangelize our passion. On the world stage, we consistently undersell ourselves. Instead, we must stand firm in our conviction that the quality of any product, service, or idea that comes out of India has to be world-class. What I'm advocating is nothing less than a mindset and a DNA change for each one of us. Achieve this, and nothing can stop us or slow us down. In the following chapters, I talk about innovation and scale, staying the course after setbacks, which most think of as failure, what it feels like to be the outsider and yet succeed, and the importance of spotting trends, building brands, and creating value, and planned or unplanned exits, amongst many other topics. I end with a Q&A listing of most common questions I hear when discussing entrepreneurship on a daily basis with both aspiring entrepreneurs and those with years of experience under their belts. Throughout, I share my personal experiences, my learnings, a few of my successes, and some of my many, many setbacks. It has been a fabulous journey so far. And it's a journey you can take as long as you have unbridled confidence in yourself and in your ability to succeed, and as long as you find viable solutions to the inevitable roadblocks and move on. Entrepreneurship is about living life on your own terms. Time is short. Even with the right ideas, a tireless work ethic, the gift of the gab, a solid network, the ability to hire well, family support and funding, even with all those variables working in your favor, things can go sideways in the blink of an eye. There are no guarantees in business or life. But if I had one bit of advice to give every colleague, leader, CEO, entrepreneur, or founder, I know what it would be. Dream huge. And when you do, dream with your eyes open.